YouTube. This is Jay. Welcome to Things to Do in Metro Atlanta Story Time with Jay. Let me get today's date out of the way because if I don't, I may forget it. So today is Monday, January the 27th, 2025. And this is video number 23. Welcome to the podcast. If you want to cash at me, you can cash at me at $JAYR3240. That's $JAYR3240. So I'm doing a lot of work right now around my house. I'm sitting in my office. I may have to pause eventually to I have to check on some things. I'm doing some work here, and I'm working on some things. And so I don't want these things to go unattended. But I also want to do this podcast. So if you hear like like dead air, if you hear dead air, that means I'm away from, I'm away from the podcast. I'm away from the recording. And I'm attending to other matters. But I shouldn't be away that long, probably a second or two. You may not even notice. Let me go back into that. Today's date is January 27th, 2025. This is Monday. And the reason I know that, because the sanitation people came and picked up the garbage. And so that's one of the ways I know, like when I know that dumpster that I have is empty, I know that it's Monday generally, unless it's a holiday or something. And this is video number 23. Welcome to the podcast. So this is my 23rd podcast. And so, I'm trying to get more comfortable with recording and with just, recording and putting the information out there because this is difficult for me to a certain extent because it's fairly new. And, I've said in previous podcasts, I should have started a YouTube channel years ago because I know where I would be. I would be a lot further along. If you want to contact me on Facebook Messenger. Go to Facebook, look for Things to Do in Metro Atlanta. Hit up the admin, that's me. And just send me a message on Facebook Messenger. I know there are a lot of people that may not be interested in contacting me, but there may be some people who may be interested in contacting me because I'm going to put a lot of information out here. And so this channel is basically about networking, technology, wellness and fitness and travel. And so yesterday I got into strategic networking. Because when we come to networking, I'm dealing with 5 points, right? 5 points of networking. I want to make sure I get my descriptions down. Like 5 points, 5 pillars. I'm dealing with 5 points of networking. And those 5 points are social, business, professional, experimental, and strategic. Let me go over that again because I know I'm running through it kind of fast because I'm assuming that everybody has heard the podcast, and I'm projecting my voice because I want to make sure that you can hear what I'm saying. Sometimes I may be speaking a little low, when you get a little bit more comfortable and, your voice may change. I want to make sure I project my voice because I want to make sure everyone can hear me. I don't want there to be any misinterpretation. Or people, they can't hear what I'm saying, so they're like, well, I can't even hear what you're saying. Drink a little bit of water. You know I got to have my water to do this. So for those of y'all who have heard the podcast, I generally drink water just to kind of stay hydrated. And so basically, my channel, again, I'm going to reiterate, recapitulate it, inculcate. My channel focuses on networking, technology, wellness and fitness, and travel. And so when it comes to networking, I focus on the 5 points of networking. And those 5 points are social, business, professional, experimental, and strategic. And so social is like when you deal with like Twitter and, you know, you're on Twitter and you're conversing or typing back and forth. I'm just going to say conversing. You're conversing back and forth with someone on Twitter. That would be social networking. When you're in person talking to somebody face to face, that would also be social. Business networking is joining a group like the Chamber of Commerce. Professional networking is joining a group like LinkedIn, where, you know, you put your profile up and, you know, you might be a nurse. And so, you know, you put, you know, what you do. I'm a nurse. And then you put your credentials up, your education, where you went to school. That's professional. Experimental networking is trial and error. And I'm going to get into that. That's number 4. And number 5 would be strategic, which is a combination of all of the above. So I'm basically going to focus more on strategic networking. Okay, let me check something. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I hope that wasn't too long. I'll have to do this from time to time today. I usually don't like to do that, but I'm going to have to be taking like my little breaks in between. It happens. I've seen people on podcasts. Sometimes they fall asleep on the podcast. I don't think I'm going to be doing any of that. Sometimes they may, you know, sometimes people need to get up and get water and do a variety of different things. And so, I mean, you know, it happens, you know. I don't prefer it to be that way. I usually like to be on point about everything I'm trying to do. But sometimes, you know, life gets in the way and you have to attend to things. So I went over the date, right? Today is Monday, January the 27th, 2025. This is podcast number 23. Okay. So we got into the 5 points of networking: social, business, professional, experimental, and strategic. So I'm going to go back into strategic networking because that's the networking I was talking about yesterday on podcast number 22. I would kind of like to do a continuation of that. And so when we're talking about strategic networking, I was talking about, you know, your job, right? You might have a job. And when you are networking or when you are in life, right, everything is networking. I know people may not see it like that. But when you are interacting with the public, you are networking. And that is your network of people. So let's say, for instance, like when you are, let's say in a certain community, because I said job yesterday, right? When you're on a job, and we'll go back to the job. When you live in a certain community, right? That community is your network of people. Now, you may not like your network, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't like people that's in their network. And, you know, I know there's a lot of people who like people in their network. We all have people we don't like and that don't like us. And we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. We're not going to leave those people out. We're not going to leave those people out. You know, the people walking around with the dollar store shoes. And I'm telling you that those dollar store shoes are not for winter time. They're not appropriate. And right now, it's winter in the metro Atlanta area. Now, you can wear what you want. But the point I'm making is that in your community, in your network, you'll see people wearing dollar store shoes. Now, I got on dollar store shoes right now, but I'm sitting in my office. I was out at the supermarket earlier tonight. I went to Walmart. Oh, yeah, I got to start laughing. Yeah, I can't even stop laughing. Yeah, so I was at Walmart. So I went to Walmart to buy some food. And yeah, so so some of the people that you see at Walmart, real funny, man. Real funny. Real funny. So I was at Walmart and I bought a little food. I didn't know I was gonna laugh that hard. But yeah, I was at Walmart, so I bought some food. So I came back home and you know, I bought some fruits and vegetables. I'm trying to go back on a fruit and vegetable diet, you know, to get in better shape because summer's coming. This is January. And you know, we down here in the South down here, so you know, summer comes pretty fast down here. Like it starts to get warm, in other words, like spring. You know, spring, because this is winter, right? So spring will be coming next. Winter, spring, summer, fall, right? Yeah. So spring will be coming next. I want to look good this spring. You know, I already have clothes, so I got my clothes. And if I need like a new shirt or something, you know, I'll get it. I'm not focused on like clothes now. You know, I have enough clothes. And, you know, they look okay. So as long as they're clean and, you know, I like my clothes to be pressed. But I have enough clothes. So I'm getting ready for spring. I want to make sure I get my body right. Y'all got to check out my Facebook page, Things to Do in Metro Atlanta on Facebook. Just check that page out on Facebook. And so again, my group focuses on networking, technology, wellness and fitness, and travel. And so right now I'm talking a little bit about wellness and fitness when we get into the springtime. You know, and that time come, you know, we all want to be looking good. You know, we want our clothes to be fitting good. And, you know, we want all these things. You know, we want all these things. We want to be looking good. We want our clothes to fit good. We don't want to, like, you know how you drop $1 or something and you bend to pick it and then you rip your pants because you got too much, you know, you got too much going on. So, you know, your clothes couldn't take that kind of pressure. You know what I'm talking about? We don't want none of that. We want to be looking good. So that's wellness and fitness. Okay? And let me give you my website before we move on, because we're going to be getting into strategic networking this evening. It is about let me see what time it is here. It is 9:33 p.m. Monday, January the 27th, 2025. 9:33 p.m. So we're going to be getting into strategic networking this evening, but I just want to cover some things. My website is lifewave.com / Jay Baresi, JayBaresi. And so basically, I have a stem cell activation patch distributorship. It's a whole lot of words to say, so I got to get that right, because sometimes I may jumble those words and then it's going to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. And I've been in biotech for 25 years, so I know what I'm talking about. I have a stem cell activation patch distributorship, and these patches promote wellness and fitness. And so this information is not to diagnose, treat, or cure any condition. It is merely information. But these patches do promote increased strength, supports hair quality, rapid wound healing, mental clarity, improvement of sleep, energy, vitality, joy and stamina, reduce pain and inflammation, skin appearance, wrinkle reduction, increased sports performance recovery. Sports performance recovery. Okay? Sports performance recovery. And restored muscle and skeletal conditions. So let's go over the last two. Increased sports performance recovery. Because I've had some injuries, and sometimes we want to kind of, we want to heal up. We want to feel better after our injuries. And so these patches do support increased sports performance and recovery and restored muscle and skeletal conditions. Check out my website, lifewave.com / JayBaresi. Lifewave.com / Jay Baresi. Okay. That's wellness and fitness. Right? And so again, my channel focuses on networking, technology, wellness and fitness, and travel. And so I traveled today in my local area. I went to Walmart today and I bought some food. And so sometimes I do Walmart because I can get some deals over there. And so I only go when I can get the deal. So I go to Walmart when I can get some good deals. So today was one of those good deals day. I knew it when I looked in my email. I was like, oh, today is a good deal day at Walmart. My email tells me where I'm going shopping when I see how much money that comes through it. And that is what we call talking about. That is what we're calling social networking. When you network online and you're able to make money online, that is social networking. It can also be professional. And to go back into the networking, there are 5 points of networking that I focus on. I know there's people who will say there's more than 5 points of networking, right? There's some people that will say, well, that's 10 points of networking, and I've done the research, and I know that there's 10 points. Okay, well, I'm only dealing with 5 points, because we got to be able to narrow this down, And so the 5 points are social, business, professional, experimental, and strategic. Social, business, professional, experimental, and strategic. Let me repeat that again. Let's go over it. I'll go over it twice. 2 more times. Social, business, professional, experimental, and strategic. 1 more time. Social, business, professional, experimental, and strategic. Today I'm going to be focused more on strategic networking, but I'm going to dabble a little bit into the experimental networking of trial and error. And so when we talk about strategic networking, right, we're talking about a combination of all of the above, which is social, business, professional, and experimental. Talking about a combination of all of the above. So I wanted to focus on strategic networking today. So when it comes to strategic networking, you got to have a strategy. That's why it's strategic. And a lot of people, they don't understand these things. They don't understand these things. But I am Atlanta's foremost leading pro networker. I've been doing this in Atlanta for 10 years now. This is my 10th year. September will be, like September the 15th, will be a full 10 years. Me being here in the metro Atlanta area. Because I live outside the city, so my thing is things to do in metro Atlanta, you know. But I'm in Atlanta a lot. I do a lot of business in Atlanta. But getting back into strategic networking. I went over when you are at your job, right? How you supposed to conduct yourself. You're supposed to have a strategy. And we can go back into that briefly. So when you're at your job, right? Let's say you work from 9 to 5. When 5 o'clock comes, you're supposed to leave. You're supposed to leave the premises. When you punch that time card, or you sign out, or you know it's 5 o'clock and you just walk out, you're supposed to leave those premises. You're not supposed to be around there hanging out. That's your strategy, your exit strategy. And you got to make sure that you have an exit strategy. Because that's how you get yourself caught up. Everybody back there laughing, ha 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 ha, he he ha 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 he talking about nothing, telling all these jokes, ha 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 ha, he and all that, right? Don't waste your time doing that. That's how you get caught up. Next thing you know, now they want you to work a couple of extra hours, but you might have to go home. You might have some other things to do. You might have a business that you're doing. See what I'm talking about? Strategic networking. You might have other things that you're doing. You might want to go home and spend time with your family. Sometimes certain employers act like that's a bad thing. And when you're working for them, I guess you got to do what they tell you, right? If you want to keep your job, right? Guess you just got to go along with it. Go with the flow. Let me drink a little water here. You know, I got to have my cold water when I'm doing these podcasts. But so you got to have a strategy. Definitely an exit strategy. You got to have an exit strategy. You know, as you you know, when you're working and you're on the clock, you know, you're supposed to conduct yourself a certain way. You're supposed to conduct yourself a certain way. And one of the things about having a strategy is unlearning a lot of the things that you've learned. And I'm not talking about like what you've learned on the job as far as doing whatever process you need to do at your job. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about unlearning a lot of things you learned in life as opposed to in relation to how you're supposed to conduct yourself. You got to have an exit strategy or a strategy. But when it's time to go, that's your exit strategy. But you're networking the whole time while you're there. And your network is your net worth. And we're going to get into that. Because this channel is for the people that want to make money. For the few people out here that really want to make money. It seems like it's only a few people, but I know a lot of people say that they want to make the money. But this channel is for the millions of people here in the United States and the multi-millions of people across the world that want to make some money. Because money comes to those who pursue it. It may not come how you want it, but it does come. And it takes a considerable amount of effort for you to get money. And that's where your strategy comes in. So we're going to be talking about strategic networking today. A lot of times with strategy, right, and strategic networking, we spoke about the exit strategy, right? When 5 o'clock comes, don't be standing around wasting time there on the job site or at the job location. Leave as quickly as you can, because that's a place of business. Certain way you're supposed to conduct yourself. That's what strategy is all about. And the reason why a lot of people are not able to get what they want is because they being out-strategized. You're being out-strategized by everybody. Remember, every closed eye ain't sleep and every goodbye ain't gone. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. Oh, man. I'll be laughing because this is funny. Sometimes when you think about things, it's funny. But as I said, every closed eye ain't sleeping, every goodbye ain't gone. They watching you. You're being watched. That's why you need to hurry up and get on up out of there. Because when the time's up, it's time to go. And a lot of people, they don't know what to do. Once they get off work, they don't know where to go or what to do with themselves. This is why this channel is for people who want to have an idea of what they should do. What you should be doing? You should be trying to better yourself, make more money, get yourself together, get your appearance together. Some people appearance not so good. Some people look slovenly. They might be like the general manager of a place and got them pants hanging. Pull your pants up. Wearing old dusty shoes. Buy a new pair of shoes. Wearing shirts that's 10 and 20 years old. Some people do, but, maybe not everybody. But buy yourself a new shirt. You know what I'm saying? Get your appearance together. Comb your hair. Or cut it. Or do whatever it is you need to get it retwisted or braid or whatever it is you do. Because, people do a whole lot of things now. Get you some new glasses. You ever see people, they be wearing them glasses, and them glasses be cocked sideways. They be wearing them glasses be cocked sideways. And, they already have bought like a cheap frame, cheap frame from like, I'm not going to mention no names because I don't want to, But they bought a cheap frame from places where you get eyeglasses, right? They bought a cheap frame. And the frame, they bought it because that was all they can afford. And now you know how the arm break off the glass? They walking around with that one glass, that stick that hanging off the ear. They got one stick on the ear, the other stick broke off, so the glass is cocked to the side. And so I seen some people had a rubber band around. A rubber band around the ear. You know what I'm saying? When one stick broke off, like the arm of the glass, one arm broke off the glass, they got a rubber band connected. They got very ingenious with it, This is Story Time with Jay. Welcome to Story Time with Jay. Things to do in Metro Atlanta. But we're talking about strategic networking here. Okay? This is strategic networking. And I know sometimes it can't be helped, because you may not have no money and you need those glasses because you can't see without them. Your eyesight is bad. Now, if you want to do a consultation, hit me up. We can talk about eyesight. You know what I'm saying? and why maybe you might have astigmatism and things of this nature. I can give you some information on that. You know what I'm talking about? About your eyesight. You know, maybe you need to go to the eye doctor. But sometimes they do offer like some rebates and, you know, mail-in rebate, $50 in different places like that. I don't want to even be mentioning these companies now because sometimes you say the wrong thing and next thing you know, you got this smoke from these companies. And you're like, well, all I did was say blah, blah. And they're like, no, you can't, you know. So I'm not going to even, I'm going to stop mentioning names of places. I'm just going to say, just go and get your glasses. You know where to go. You want to have a consultation? Hit me up on Facebook Messenger. And again, go to Facebook, look up things to do in Metro Atlanta, and then go over to Facebook Messenger, look at the admin, and then just send me a message on Facebook Messenger. I'm the admin. And so my point is that you have to have a strategy. And part of your strategy is keeping a couple of dollars in your pocket or going somewhere where you can get your glasses for free. Maybe. You know, I don't know who does free eyeglasses, but I mean, you know, they do have programs out here. I was talking to a lady today doing some networking. You know, my thing is networking, right? And can you tell me what my group is about? Networking, technology, wellness and fitness and travel, right? And right now we're going over strategic networking. And you must always have a strategy. This is the reason why people can't get no money, because they ain't got no strategy. They sitting around, messing around, think everything funny, everything about dancing and singing, and making videos about dancing and singing. Well, if you ain't making no money off those videos, then maybe you need to also, divide your time. You know what I mean? Divide your time, take some time out, and figure out how you gonna get you a couple of extra dollars so that you can afford glasses, new shoes, so that you don't gotta wear dollar store shoes out there. I see people out there wearing dollar store shoes in dead winter. It's one thing to wear the dollar store shoes in the summer, which I never go past my mailbox. And I'm stepping on like pine cones and everything, and that hurts in these dollar store shoes. Because I got on dollar store shoes right now. And I've had them for years. I hope they don't tear up on me. Because they're looking a little compromised. I see them, boy. I don't know what I need to do. I might need to take a rag, a compress or something, and wipe them off. But yeah, I see, you know how you get the creases in them? I see the creases starting to form. But I got a backup pair. I buy 2 and 3 at the time. I'll be right back. Hold on. Give me a minute here. Okay, so like I was saying about the dollar store shoes. Oh, I got 4-5 pairs of dollar store shoes. I wear them. I just don't wear them no further than my mailbox. If you ever see me out on the street in dollar store shoes, something's wrong. Something has happened, and it's been bad. Say, Jay, what you doing out here in these dollar store shoes? I'll be like, let me tell you what happened. It's been really bad because I never wear them past my front yard. Like to go to the mailbox or to empty the garbage. I never wear them because they're not, I don't know. I mean, like I can't wear these shoes in all kinds of terrain. I need shoes. I like to wear boots. Like today I had on some polo boots. That's what I like to wear when cause polo will stand up to anything. I'm gonna tell you, the polo boots that they got, those boots stand up to all kinds of weather. And so I need, that's what I like to wear, either polo or Clarks. And then I have like some other kinds, but mostly polo, that's what I like to wear in terms of boots. for the winter time. And I don't even like winter. I don't like winter. That's why I moved away from New York City. You know, I was born and raised in New York City, and I moved down here to the metro Atlanta area in 2015. And so I moved down here because I wanted a warmer climate. And Atlanta was one of the best cities. Atlanta is and was and is one of the best cities you can move to for a whole lot of reasons. And you see everybody's trying to move here now, right? I knew that back then. I knew that in the 1990s, that Atlanta was the place. It was up and coming even back then. And so if I would have been here since the 90s, back and forth, because I like to network across the country, and I'd have been networking from here to there. You know, New York, Washington, D.C., sometime I'll stop in North Carolina, you know, like Raleigh, Durham area. You know, Raleigh, Durham area is very historic. Durham, from what I'm to understand, it's a very historic place. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I will travel back and forth up and down the coast, the East Coast. I've never been to the West Coast. I don't think I've ever been any further west than Mississippi, like west of the Mississippi. I've never gone past Mississippi. Yeah, I don't think I've been past Mississippi. But I've been that way. I've been to Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee. I should have gone across to Arkansas when I was in Tennessee. Yeah, I should have, but I don't know. I was just across on the other side. They said, there's Arkansas. And I should have just gone just to say I was in Arkansas, you know. But, I mean, I was very close. My point is that I haven't been any further west than Mississippi, Tennessee, Mississippi. And so I generally will network everywhere I go. But we're talking about strategic networking. And you must have a strategy. This channel is for those that want to get money. And you're in the right city. If you're in the metro Atlanta area or thinking about moving to the metro Atlanta area, you will be in the right city to make some money. You'll definitely be in the right city to make some money. There are opportunities here. But when you come here, you got to have a strategy. And that's what we're talking about, strategic networking. I'm Atlanta's foremost leading pro networker. And there are people who would disagree with that. Oh, yeah, Jay, I know Jay. Yeah, Jay, yeah, he's nobody. Yeah, Jay, yeah. Yeah, I got haters out here. Yeah, I know Jay. Yeah, Jay, yeah, man. That guy, man, I always see him. He always have the hat on. Every time I see him, he got the hat. I don't like the hat. I don't like the hat. You know, people find weird things they don't like about you because they don't like you. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know Jay. Yeah. Networking? No, he doesn't know what he's doing. He just comes around. He doesn't know. But little do they know, I'm actually practicing all kinds of networking. Social, business, professional, experimental, and strategic. And they're being out-strategized all the time. They just don't know it. A lot of people are too blind to see what's going on right before their very eyes. And this is what I'm talking about strategizing. You gotta wake up and start looking around you and paying attention to what's going on around you. That's where your strategy comes from. That's where your strategy comes in. Not comes from, but comes in. You gotta pay attention to what's going on around you. Because once you start paying attention to what's going on around you, you're going to see everybody around you making money but you. You're going to see everybody around you trying to hustle you. You're going to see everybody around you trying to play you for a fool. And that's why you must have a strategy. And don't think it doesn't happen down here in this metro Atlanta area. They definitely gonna try to play you for a fool. And so that's what I'm talking about. If you want to network and make money, you got to get in where you fit in. And then you get in where you fit in, and you'll get your little team together. And hopefully, because even when you get your team together, sometimes with certain people, especially the know-it-all types, they know everything. But they couldn't tell you how to fight your way out of a paper bag. I don't know. You ask them something, I don't know. And sometimes they know, but they just don't want to tell you. And I got into that yesterday about people trying to keep information from you. This is why you want to start your networking and start doing strategic networking. Because once you have a strategy, that means you're learning things. And you're going to need people. But you'll have to get in where you fit in. And you got a lot of fake people out here too. And that's why you got to have a strategy. It's not perfect nowhere. It's like this everywhere. It's not just Atlanta. But it is Atlanta too. It's not just Atlanta. Same thing in New York City. People trying to see what they can get. But they got nothing to offer you. All they want to do is take. And there's a lot of people down here in the metro Atlanta area that's like that. All they want to do is take from you. It's a lot of takers out here. And this is why you need to have a strategy. Because your network is your net worth. So the people that you know, that's your net worth. So if everybody you know is wearing dollar store shoes, what does that say about you? You know, I'm going to keep going back to the dollar store shoes. Because I'm like, I can't believe, what? People wearing dollar like that, like that's their real shoes. And you know, the churches give away shoes out here. You go to these churches, right? Out here, right? I ain't gonna mention no churches' names. Because I don't want no smoke from them. You know, a church is a very powerful institution in the community. But you can go to these churches and get a pair of shoes. Boots, shoes, and if you don't got it, maybe they can tell you where you can go to get it. But you can go and get a pair of shoes. That's not going to be a problem. I'm just saying that to say that, you know, you got a lot of people out here, they're not prepared. They're unprepared. But then they got advice for you, or they trying to see what they can hustle you out of. They might hustle you out of your shoes or your car. Oh, yeah. In certain areas, you can't even go to the gas station at night. You jump out the gas station, you know, let's say you pull up gas station, certain area, leave your car running, try to jump out, think you're going to go in and pay. When you come back, your car might not be there. You might not be there. That's how bad it is out here. You got people who want to try to hustle you for everything, take from you. There's a lot of takers out here. And they can be avoided with a little strategy. And that's what I'm saying. Welcome to the podcast. This is Things to Do in Metro Atlanta, Story Time with Jay. And so basically, when we get into strategic networking, you got to unlearn a lot of the things that you've been taught. Unlearning is the new learning. You know what I'm saying? You got to unlearn a lot of the things that you've been taught. Because it ain't working. And so you're looking for a certain outcome out here. And you can't do the same thing you was doing before that got you in the situation you in now. This channel is for the millions of people who want to make it. And out of those millions, I know that there are thousands who are within the sound of my voice, or will be in the sound of my voice, that's going to hear this. Like, share, and subscribe. Pass this message on. So you're looking for desired outcomes, and you're not going to get those outcomes if you keep doing what you've been doing and you don't come up with a strategy, because you're being out strategized. And don't think people not using this, they're using it. You're being out strategized by people. You're being played. And this is not just Atlanta, this is everywhere. This is all across the United States. You being played. And if you want to stop being played and start coming up some, all you got to do is come up with your strategy. Strategic networking, because your network is your net worth. So everybody that you come into contact with, that's your network of people. So if everywhere you go, all you see is people struggling, that's your network. And so you know what you need to do. Go around people that's not struggling. You know how they tell people, well, oh, why do you keep running into the same people? Maybe you need to change your friends. Well, yeah, you need to change your network. Because I'm not having none of that. I see people, I'm about to go the other way. As soon as I see them, I'm like, oh, there they go. There they go. I'm about to go the other way. Or keep it moving. See him and keep it moving. Act like I don't see him, because I know that person ain't got nothing for me. A waste of time. That's strategic networking right there. You changing your outcome. And I'm going to tell you something about money too. 75.6% of the money comes from the public. So let's say you start a business and you might want to get some grants or some contracts. Those grants and those contracts will help you, but you're still going to have to engage the public. But how you going to engage the public if you don't have a strategy? You the one always being engaged by other people. You the one always on the short end of the stick. Always the one doling out your money. Always the one going in your pocket, reaching in your pocket to give to other people when you could be the one on the receiving end. Because most people they're not going to wake up. You talk about people waking up. No, it's not going to happen. Trust me. Believe me when I tell you, most people are not going to figure this out. They are consumers by nature, it seems. Now, I could be wrong. I know there's people, well, that's not true, because I'm not a consumer and I do everything I can to live a minimal life. Okay, that's you. But a lot of people not going to figure this out. They too caught up. And that's fine. You know, that's fine. That's the way things work. And be glad it's like that, because that's how you're going to make your money. But like I say, 75.6% of the money comes from, the money comes from 75% of the people. That's how you're going to get paid. You might get grants and contracts, but you still may have to engage the public depending on the nature of your business. I know what I'm saying. And I know there's people that will disagree with, oh, that's not 75%. It's only 38% because I looked it up. I Googled it. I'm telling you, you're going to have to engage the public to get your money. Most of your money will come from the public. That's where it all comes from. With people, when we say, like, when you have a business, everybody's looking for people to come in and spend money with them. We're looking for customers who are part of the general public. We're just talking about strategic networking right now. So I can give you a little breakdown. I'm looking at a chart that goes back. It goes back, but there's a pie here. And so the 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 total amount of money, right? How much came from where, right? I'm just giving you an idea, because a lot of people don't know this. But to hear people tell, oh yeah, yeah, I know that, I know that, I know that, I know that, I know about that, I know that, I know that, I know about that, yeah, 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 I know that, I know that. They don't know anything. And what they might think they know, they never had the chance to apply it. You got to start applying these concepts. And this is about strategic networking, strategy. They're not running this down to everybody. Everybody's not being taught this. I'm going to drop this because this is things to do in Metro Atlanta. And one of the things that I do is networking. And so when we talk about networking, we talk about money. And so looking at this this pie chart, right? There was a total of 295.2 billion, right? Out of the 295, 222 billion came from individuals, people. 36 billion came from foundations. 12 billion came from corporations and bequest. I don't even know what bequest is. I'm gonna have to look that word up. It's been a long time. But 22.9 billion came from bequest, which is 7.8%. So I'll go back over these numbers again. But the point that I'm making is that most of the money came from individuals, which was $222.9 billion. And this was just, I believe, 1 year. This was 1 year. Most money comes from most people. 7 to 9 people out of 10 give. 80% of individuals' contributions is given by households with income of less than $80,000 a year. So it's mostly poor people that's doing the giving. That's why everybody keeps coming for you. If you ever wonder, yeah, that's funny. That's why everybody keep coming for you, because they know you're being out strategized. I only gave you those stats because the stats are kind of old, but it still works that way for the most part. It's the general public. That's where the money's coming from. And that's how you're going to make your money, through networking. Networking is the key, but we're talking about strategic networking. Hold on for a minute. I'll be right back. So we're talking about strategic networking. And as I just stated, it's already been stipulated, right? That most of the money comes from individuals like yourself. That's why people are always trying to play you, because they know the money comes from you. And they ain't smart enough to get it from the corporations. They ain't smart enough to get it from the foundations. They ain't smart enough to get it from the bequest. I got to look up what bequest is. As a matter of fact, let me look that word up, because that bothers me when I don't know something. So I'm going to go ahead and look up the word bequest, because I don't even know what that word means. But we about to find out. OJ don't know everything. Okay, bequest. Okay. The action of bequeathing something. A painting acquired by bequest. A legacy. Her 135,000 was the largest bequest library ever received. What does bequest mean? Gifts that are made as part of a will or trust. So we're getting into some serious business here. We're talking about wills, estates, and trust. I don't really want to get into that. I'm just trying to show you how far this goes. This channel is for people who are trying to make more money, who actually want to learn something. I'm looking to network with those that's getting money. Because again, y'all know Jay's trying to get an additional $3,000 a month. I'm Jay, if you don't know. Yeah, Jay, me. I'm trying to get an additional $3,000 a month, and I'm putting it out there. And I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it somehow. This is 2025. This is a new year, right? New beginning. And I started before 2025, but I'm just saying, I'm going to get it a bequest. Okay. So, again, let's go over this chart again. How much came from where? See, you got to focus on this. This is your strategy. See, I went into strategy yesterday, and I wanted to kind of come, and I may talk about strategy for the next few days and go over this again. And this is Story Time with Jay, things to do in Metro Atlanta. Again, welcome to the podcast. And I like to kind of, this is Story Time with Jay, so I like to kind of have a little fun with it. You know what I mean? I don't want to sit here and quote facts all day and numbers and statistics. And I'm not a statistician. Is that how you say the word? Statistician? I'm not a statistician. I'm not a mathematician. I was at this networking function a couple of days ago, and I ran into this guy, and I was like, there's a lot of women there, a lot of guys there. I said, yeah, man. So I was walking up. Guy was standing there and everything. Nice guy. A lot of these people are nice people. And so I said, what do you do? He says, I'm a mathematician. I was like, oh. He says, yeah, so I have my PhD in mathematics. I was like, oh. I knew he was smarter than me right then. A mathematician. How many of those do you meet? And so, he was a pretty nice guy and everything, and he was just telling me he worked at one of the universities. I'm not gonna be mentioning these universities and some of the places I network because I'm just not gonna mention it. But I do network with a lot of the universities in the area, and so universities and like the business centers in the area, because some of the business centers are located on university grounds. And so I may have mentioned them in the past. I'm not going to be mentioning them now, but I'm networking with some of the universities, some of the global corporations too in the Metro Atlanta area. I also do a little networking, business networking, professional networking. Social, business, professional, experimental, and strategic, because I'm in all networking modes at all times. I just go through, like, you got to know which hat to put on at certain times. So, like, let's say when you are getting down to business and you got to do some work, then you put the business hat on. When you are letting people know what you do, then you are talking about, it's more professional, like they're looking at your demographics, age and education, and because they want to know these things, like how much education do you have and all of that. So you're running through these networking points, the 5 points of networking. You're running through these points all the time. It's just that a lot of people don't know. They don't exactly understand networking and how it's being played out right before their very eyes. They don't understand it. And they don't know how it's being played out right before their very eyes. Let me drink a little water. My water not as cold as it was, so that ice melted. I like it to be real cold because the cold kind of keeps me up when I'm doing this. But again, this channel is for people who are trying to make it out here. Too many people are struggling. They're struggling because they don't understand the way things work. If they understood things more, they could do more. Trust me, I know what I'm saying. I've been doing this a long time. Now, my area is biotech, right? And so I've been in biotech for 25 years. And I'll run through biotech just briefly, I'll run through biotech briefly. Give me a minute. I was gonna run through biotech briefly. I'm looking for the yes, because like I like to be accurate and I do not want to give people misinformation. So when it comes to biotech, because I got a lot going on here right now. Oh man, do I got a lot going on? That's why I have to keep getting up, because I got other things going on here in the house. So right now I'm in and out of my office, and I'm keeping an eye on things, you know. And so doing a little cooking right now for tomorrow, because I like to prepare my meals at night to make sure I have food for the next day. And it couldn't be helped, because I just came in from Walmart a couple of hours ago, and it is now, let me see what time it is here, 10:19, right? It's 10:19 p.m. Today's date is January the 27th, 2025, and today is Monday evening. And again, the time is 10:19 p.m. Yes. Okay. So when it comes to biotech, now I've been in the biotech field for 25 years. I've been studying since the 90s. But I got my first certification in 2000. But I was going to school in the 90s. And I got certified in 2000. And this is 2025. So we'll just say 25 years, right? It's been longer, but from the time I got, because some people don't count until you get paperwork behind it with your name on it. So if you don't have any paperwork to show, they'll start from the time, okay, so I got my first certification in 2000, but I have been studying all through the 90s. So I got a 10-year jump on a lot of people. I got a 10-year jump. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So when we talk about biotech, I was in the pharmaceuticals, HIV/AIDS, healthcare, HIV/AIDS services, and so pharmaceuticals played a big part in that, and so that's how I got into biotech. But I'll give you some areas of biotech: GMO foods, cloning, Human Genome Project, pharmaceuticals, agriculture, biofuels, industrial biotechnology, gene therapy, and medical therapy. And so I'm into a couple of these areas here, like pharma, medical therapy. We all deal with genetically modified GMO foods. I don't do anything professionally with that, but you know, I deal with a few of these areas like pharmaceuticals and some medical therapy, and I have been studying biochemistry for some years now. And so I have about, I don't know, anywhere from like 7 to 10 certifications. Some of them are in business, but most of them are in like biotech healthcare. And so you come across all kinds of information when you're taking these classes. And so I'll leave it right there. So that's my biotech piece for today. But going back into strategic networking, because I didn't want to deviate from strategic, but I just wanted to get into biotech. That's my field. My field is biotechnology. But everything I got through networking. So I wanted to get into the networking, networking as far as strategic networking is concerned. And so let me go over this chart again. How much came from where, right? We always want to know where the money's coming from, right? And we're talking about business or getting money. If you want to just say it plainly, getting money. We're talking about getting money or business, making money. Talking about money making, money making, right? How much came from where? So at this one point here, they had a pie chart. And so this pie chart represented $295.2 billion. And I believe this was for 1 year. I believe, but it could have been more than a year. It might have been over a specific period of time. But sometimes, they're dealing with the billions of dollars in a year sometimes, like billions of dollars. Sometimes this kind of money can happen over a period of 1, maybe 2, 3 years. But that's not the point. The point is, because if you had, let's say, the money that just came from bequest, I guess that's like like when you bequeath something, because we looked it up. And let me go back through that definition again. When something is bequeathed. It is gifts that are made as a part of a will or trust. So somebody died and left some money. And I went into that yesterday when, like, you might have a relative die and you go and you get the money out the bank, right? And they leave millions of dollars. Not everybody gets that. So bequest. So with this pie chart, the total is $295.2 billion. From bequest, things that people left, $22.9 billion. This is just something that people who died left behind, donated it. They said, I want my money to go to charity. Or I want my money to go into this organization to help the homeless. Or I want my money to go here to feed the needy. Or I want my money to go here to help people with medical care. Right? This would bequest. And it was $22.9 billion over a certain period of time. I think this is a year, but I could be wrong. Could have been over a period of a couple of years. $22.9 billion came from bequest. $36.5 billion came from foundations. $12.7 billion came from corporations. Corporations gave the least amount. But guess who gave the most amount? Individuals, people like you, gave $222.9 billion, a whopping 75.6%. And the point I'm making is that you must have a strategy, because everybody's trying to get your money. And if you want to just get some money for a year or 10 years or however many years, every year, you might just say, hey, look, I just want to make a lot of money for 1 year, and then I'll go back to making, a little bit of money that I'm used to making. You need to come up with a strategy. See, nobody's telling you these things. I'll be right back. Let me check on my food. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I got to keep doing that because I put some money into this. And so you have to come up with a strategy. And I cannot stress the importance of strategic networking. So if you're in the metro Atlanta area or you're anywhere in the world and this podcast has reached you, understand that networking is the key. Networking is the key. And we can go over those 5 points because I like to make sure I go back over it just to kind of keep it fresh in people's mind. And so when we talk about networking, we talking about, let me just look it up because I don't want to. Yeah, social, business, professional, experimental, and strategic. I got to make sure that I got to get that first word out. Social, business, professional, experimental, and strategic. Social, business, professional, experimental, and strategic. Social, business, professional, experimental, and strategic. And so we've been discussing strategic networking this evening. And you gotta have a plan. That's how you keep getting out strategized, because people see you coming. They see you coming. This is not for the people that's doing the wheeling and dealing. They already know. I'm talking to the people who don't know, who are looking to get money. Because I want to see more people start networking, because we'll be able to do more. If more people start networking, we can start shifting the money. If you get into this and you think you're just going to come in and just start taking from people, it's not going to work. You got to get with people and try to see what you can do to offer something to the general public. Because as we already learned, most money comes from individuals. And at this particular point in this pie chart, it was 222.9 billion. That's more than enough money. That's more than enough money. If you can just make a couple of million out of that, you're set. And if you're not set, then you're mismanaging your money. That's another story. Because all I need is an extra $3,000 a month. And that's why I decided to do this podcast, because I'm looking to network. But ain't nobody about to rip me off, okay? I ain't nobody's fool. It ain't going down like that. I'm going to just put that out there. I ain't nobody's fool. All this knowledge that I've learned over the years, ain't nobody about to take nothing away from me. Just letting you know, just in case you think, oh, well, OJ, he seems like he's good. No, I ain't good for nothing. You're not about to trick me out of nothing. Now, if you want to collaborate, I'm looking for those that's looking to collaborate. We can get out here and make some money, because the general public's going to spend the money. Because that's what they do. They consumers. But I'm not the one. I'm not even spending that much money now. I'm living a very minimal existence. You ain't going to be able to get no money out of me. You ain't going to be able to get no money out of me. My money goes to my expenses, and that's it. I keep it short and sweet on that. I don't spend a whole lot of money. I don't shop for clothes. I don't do any of that now. Now, I may go to the dry cleaners because I have to have my clothes cleaned from time to time. I have clothes that it's just not going to be, it's not going to go into the washing machine, because to put it in the washing machine, it's dry clean only. So I got to take them to the dry cleaners, and my money will go to that. My money will go for food. It will go for gas. It will go for like certain necessities. Outside of that, I don't spend any money. So I'm not the one. I'm just letting you know. That's a disclaimer. Let me put that out there. And I'm not out here to hustle anybody. But what I'm saying is, we need to get together, some of us who want it. And we need to figure out what we can do to get together and come up with something that the public want. And I know what they want. The public don't want all this fancy stuff. People just want to have a good time, basically. But then there are those who also want to network and do more. And we can engage, and then, you start breaking up into teams. But there's enough for everybody, because the general public is not on this level. The general public's not on this level. This podcast is not going to reach everybody. It's only going to reach a few people. But it's for the millions of people that want it, because we live in a world with, 8 billion people? And so there's enough money out here for millions. We got 8 billion people. This podcast is not going to reach 8 billion people. This is for the millions who it reaches, and out of those millions it reaches, there's only a subset of those people that are actually going to take any action. And that's where you start from. You start from people who want it. But all that trying to get over on people, that's not going to happen now. Everybody's hip to that. Everybody's hip to the begging. Everybody's hip to the GoFundMe. Everybody's hip to trying to, right now I'm just doing. Everybody's hip to that. This is about business. And there's people out here doing business. You know what? It ain't everybody. I'm talking about big business. People that's making some significant money. Not everybody's got it like that. So there's room for people like us for those of you who want it. And I put that information out there on purpose. And again, I can be reached on Facebook Messenger. I'm looking to collaborate with anybody. I mean, I've been in biotech, so I'm focusing on technology. But some of you might be into software development and other kinds of technology. I'm looking to collaborate. Ain't you tired of like making money for the companies? Don't you want to take this? I mean, you don't have to quit your job, but don't you want to work on some projects where you can make some of the money for yourself? Don't you want to work on some of these projects where you can make some of the money for yourself? Or would you rather let someone else make the bulk of the money? That's just something to think about. Like, share, and subscribe. And on that note, until next time, take care.